Urban, it starts here.
Morning to you. Welcome to Urban Today. Yes, my name is Malaika, and today is Good Friday, the 3rd of April, 2015. I hope you're waking up in a better mood than we were yesterday. Yesterday was a day of sorrow. We're talking about the death of a renowned journalist. Bale Francis passed on, and you know the whole nation has gone into sadness because this is a man who made news. In fact, most of the headlines are going ahead and saying that news is now dead. And aside from that, our brothers and sisters in Kenya, a university in Garissa, have passed on. About 147 have been reported dead, and some are still missing. Reports are still coming in. Al-Shabaab has come forth and said that they're responsible for these attacks. So we want to take a moment of silence for the lives that have been lost, and I hope you will join me in this moment of silence. May their souls rest in eternal peace. Please keep those families in your prayers. May they stay strong. May God keep them and bless them. Now we're moving on because, yes, it's Good Friday. The weekend has started. Some of you already started your weekend last night. There was traffic at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., surprising. But Good Friday is still a holiday, and so the day that Jesus was crucified. So I hope that you will make sure that you go to church. But today on Urban Today, we do have a fabric designer, Ms. Rita Namayanja Chivumbu, who is a fabric designer, and we're going to be talking to her about more. When it comes to fashion, you know I really like that. And Gaetano as well these days, he's picked an eye for fashion. So then we're going to be moving on to modeling art. Ronnie Nsubuga, who trains models and is a photographer as well. King Abdul, who's a model. And Esther Jones, a beauty queen. We're going to be trying to understand more in that industry. People take it lightly, but it's not an easy job, you know. In the newspapers today, I've actually seen Amito being grilled for the nude that, okay, it's an artistic nude. It's a professional nude, not one of those leaked things that we keep seeing here. And people have been in uproar, saying that she looked malnourished instead of sexy. So more of that in the Press Digest if you want to know what's going on. We do have Joshua Poro and Gaetano Kagwa on set, ready for the Press Digest.
A very good evening and welcome to the Press Digest on Urban Today. My name is Joshua Poro, and of course we are starting with a look at your local dailies. That is the New Vision, which is Uganda's leading daily. You can always get yourself a copy at just 2,000 Ugandan shillings. Of course, I and Gaetano will take you. Gaetano and I?
That's right.
Well,
Us.
I and Gaetano.
We will.
Okay, we will take you. Okay, I'm really tired of this. Malaika's English confusing us.
Yeah.
Well, of course, we're going to take you through the local dailies. We have the New Vision and, of course, our favorite paper, the end of the week.
The Sun.
The Kampala Sun is right here. We have the Bouquet, we have the Daily Monitor, man. We are loaded. We are so loaded.
We're good to go. But starting us off on the New Vision, as Malaika said, very sad news coming out of Kenya. And it's hitting the front page of the New Vision here.
Yeah.
Shabab hits Kenya varsity. 147 have been killed. Hundreds still missing. And the story does continue on page number 14. So
yes, and on page 14, at least 147 students were massacred when Somalia's Al-Shabaab Islamist group attacked a Kenyan university yesterday. The government said after the deadliest attack in the country since the U.S. Embassy bombings of 1998. Now, hurling grenades and firing automatic rifles, the masked gunmen stormed the university in the northeastern town of Garissa. Students were sleeping, shooting dead dozens before setting Muslims free and holding Christians and others hostage. Man, this is
This
gross.
this is serious, and in fact, the government has come out to say that a $215,000 bounty has been offered for the capture of the alleged Al-Shabaab commander Muhammad Mohammed, a former Kenyan teacher believed to now be in Somalia and said to be the mastermind of the Garissa attacks.
But what is with these people? Actually, the initial reports that came out of the university were saying that the students were put together and asked to declare their faith.
Yes, they did.
And then
they
if
were
you're
separated.
Christian, if you're Christian, you're shot in the head straight away. And then if you're Muslim, you're let to go.
I don't know the exact details, but I did hear of them separating
these
students.
These were reports, and if you realize that most of the dead are actually Christian students.
I mean, obviously, President Uhuru Kenyatta has got a lot.
He has
to
a lot
do.
to trouble. He has
security is, is paramount in any country.
Why can't he borrow a leaf from his counterpart, President Museveni? I think he has some good ideas to help this.
So our prayers and thoughts do go out to the families of those who have
Kenyan
lost
people.
loved ones, and we only do hope that those who are responsible are brought to book swiftly.
Yes. And of course, now moving away from that, on page 3 of the New Vision, Bale Francis signs out. And this is very unfortunate. On Wednesday this week, a cancer fundraising media campaign was launched at the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation boardroom to help raise money to fly renowned news anchor Francis Bale to India for an operation. Now this, however, is now history, as Francis Bale, who always introduced himself as Bale Francis before beginning his news bulletin on the then Uganda Television, now Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, passed away yesterday morning.
Of course, there are many people who have always imitated Bale Francis. Bale Francis.
Well, when I was growing up, I told my dad, I want to be like that guy. Unfortunately, I don't have white beard.
He had a very good enunciation whenever he spoke. He spoke very clearly and very, you listen to what he was saying, and this is a man who will be
he could get your
greatly
attention.
missed.
I had his students, they were saying that, hey, oh my God, he taught us pronunciation. And when a Bale Francis student reads news, you can tell the difference. And all of them don't say Kampala, they say Kampala.
Kampala.
That is Bale Francis's Kampala.
And of course, we do have the Siminyi show, which has a parody of the news and all of that. And he is the host. Well, not him, but a parody of Bale Francis is the host of the show.
Who? Male Francis.
Male Francis. So, well...
Man, I think it's a life well lived, and he has left a very good legacy. Yesterday, Mary Karoro Kurud, the Minister for Security, said that at least he did not leave a dirty legacy behind. He wasn't involved in corruption.
Nothing at all.
Wasn't. So he's
straight as an arrow.
Yeah.
On page number 4, John Kagezi's children narrate her last moments. In fact, on the front page is a picture of the family of the late placing a wreath on the coffin. That's on the front page. Is a picture there. And Museveni mourns slain prosecutor. It says here, shortly after he arrived from a visit to China yesterday, President Yoweri Museveni called the Kagezi family to express his condolences and promised to support them in any way he deemed necessary. And that story does continue on page number 4.
Yeah, and John Kagezi's father, Kagwasi Radde, said he could not speak. The mother of the slain assistant director of the public prosecutions, Colin Serwada, could not gather the energy to walk from her seat to accompany her husband to the podium. It was a very, very trying moment for this family, but we hope that all will be well.
In fact, if you continue on page number 4 at the bottom,
yes.
World leaders, global institutions pay tribute to Kagezi, and International Center for Transitional Justice, ICT, and the likes, and many more have been pouring out their heartfelt condolences to the Kagezi family.
We shall not be intimidated, says Justice Owindolo. It's also on page 4. It says that Justice Alfonso Owindolo, the presiding judge in the trial of suspected terrorists who were involved in the July 2010 attacks in Kampala, said the judiciary will not be intimidated whatsoever.
And so they should not. I totally agree with that.
Good idea.
Page number 5. Kaihura rejects, I repeat, rejects calls to ban borders in Kampala.
The business community has called for the ban of border in the city and the importation and sale of masks to stem the growing insecurity in the country. Now, speaking on Wednesday evening during a meeting with the Inspector General of Police, General Kale Kahura, at Protea Hotel in Kampala, the Executive Director of the Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Gideon Badagawa, said border and masks are fueling crime. Do you say it's border?
I mean, look, we do know that borders are crimes. A lot of
they
crimes.
do so many wrong things.
Are carried out using borders. Be it petty theft to things like this.
Grabbing people's handbags, and their phones, and knocking people's cars and running away. That's the whole thing,
So I don't know. I'm one of those people who has called for borders to sort of be more regulated. I don't think a ban, but more regulation is needed.
Somebody said that banning the border out of the town without an option for them is not the best thing to do. What you should do is find an option for them. Gazette for them a place where they're supposed to be and tell them, okay, in this particular place, you are not allowed to be. And also, on the other hand, we are not sure whether the word border is being used to refer to the motorcycle or the person riding the motorcycle, or both of them at the same time, because it's quite not gazetted. They could be saying border just meaning the motorcycles,
or the rider.
The rider himself, or both of them, the rider and his bike. You just can't be so sure.
We shall see. Ugandan pangolin scales seized in Hong Kong. That's also on page number 5. Hong Kong authorities have thwarted an attempt to smuggle a ton of pangolin scales believed to have originated from Uganda, according to a leading wildlife crime buster. So those are our pangolins in Asia. Continuing on.
Well, on page 6, the clergy attack government over slow electoral reforms. The clergy, under the umbrella body, the Uganda Joint Christian Council, have expressed concern over the government's delay to pass electoral reforms. Addressing journalists in Kampala on Wednesday, Executive Secretary Sylvester Inaitwe scoffed at the government for failing to table the bills for electoral reforms in Parliament barely 5 months before nomination of candidates for the 2016 general elections. These reforms have actually brought a lot of contradiction, and different people are talking against it. And one of the reforms we spoke about the other day, the ones that were on the side of the government, was whether to retire people, or if a government official should first resign their positions before going to stand for an elective position.
Right.
But now they want to change the position so that all they do is ask for leave of office before they can go. And in case they fail, they can come back and keep on working. I was eyeing someone's job, but it looks like I won't get it now. So yeah, that happens. But also the opposition is, they say that they want a free, actually they want an independent electoral commission. I don't know what more they want this electoral commission to be constituted, but if at all the electoral commission is still appointed, of course, by the president, then how sure are you that it's independent or not independent?
Well, whether or not electoral reforms are actually, implemented, we shall only tell on the time of elections. We shall see. Page number 7, land grabbers target Kampala schools. Now check this out. Kampala City Authority, KCCA Executive Director Jennifer Musisi, has named over 100 public schools in Kampala
10.
whose land, 10 public schools in Kampala whose land is under threat. To stop the giving away of a school land, she appealed to Parliament to prevail upon Uganda Land Commission to give land titles of the school's land to KCCA. She also wants ULC to stop the wanton leasing of school land to private investors.
Hold it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Press Digest on Urban Today. My name is Joshua Bora here with Gaetano, taking a look at your local dailies and informing you on what's happening in and around the world. Right now, let's go for a short break, but don't go away because we'll continue right after that.